You see, this Davos thing has been, I think, this is my opinion, I think it's absolutely hyped. It is like, it's like a party, and in this party, you kind of have the whole world, their press, their media and all come there, and then, we kind of say we signed that, we signed this, and we signed the other. In 2025, we had, that is 24-25, we had a foreign direct investment of $81 billion. $81 billion came into India. So is that it? Should we celebrate? No, wait. It is not it. They would express the money as already invested the moment they sign the MoU. MoU is Memorandum of Understanding. Memorandum of Understanding has nothing to do with the agreement, has got no legal veracity. Fourthly, most of these people are Indians. It is Reliance and Adani and all who signs up. So just imagine, both of them from Mumbai gets into an aircraft, goes to Davos, and then they sign in Davos, and they get into the aircraft, come back, and they celebrate. They are Indians. You could have walked up to their office, or you could have taken a auto rickshaw and gone to their office and signed and come back. You see, you can't treat investments like some political campaign. मैं भूख मिटा दूंगा, मैं गरीबी हटा दूंगा, मैं शंघाई बना दूंगा. All this like you treat elections. You can't treat economy. Namaskar. So welcome to another episode of Editorial. We are going to talk about Davos. We are going to talk about Devendra Fadnavis. We are going to talk about Karnataka. We are going to talk about Assam Chief Minister. We are going to talk about a lot of Chief Minister. And we are going to talk about this concept called FDIs. Okay. Chalo, let's, as always, let's talk about these complicated issues, which actually are not very complicated. It is very simple issues. And let us understand this. Before I start and before I speak about FDIs, hear this. This is what Nirmala Sitharaman had to say about FDIs.
The FDI inflow into India, sir, in FY21 was $81.72 billion, US dollars. In FY20, it was $74.39 billion. India has continued to remain in the top 5 FDI recipient countries, and this is a UNCTAD UNCTAD report. I'd like to say that in the 7 years and 9 months of Prime Minister Modi's government till December 2021, the FDI inflows into India has been $500.5 billion. And that is about 65% higher than the FDI inflows during the entire 10-year regime of the UPA.
So when you hear all these figures, sounds big, no? Sounds very, very big. Now, that's exactly what happens. A lot of which that are told, that are expressed to you, which are not necessarily wrong. But there is a way that is expressed. That way creates awe. But in reality, things may not be that beautiful as it is projected. That's the point I'm going to talk about, and that's actually the theme of my my today's editorial. While we are all going to talk about Davos, that is no doubt about it. But speaking about Davos, let us also talk about how figures are presented in front of you and how the image is created in front of you, what we should understand of the figures and how we should understand of the figures. Chalo, let's talk about FDI. Foreign direct investments are not just about the money that is coming in. For instance, let us speak about figures in 2025. In 2025, we had, that is 24-25, we had a foreign direct investment of $81 billion. $81 billion came into India. So is that it? Should we celebrate? No, wait. It is not it. You see, $81 billion came into India and $51.5 billion, the foreign investors, a lot of foreign companies, $1 billion they took back. So $81 came in, $51 they took back. Now, our own countrymen, our own entrepreneur, they decided that possibly investing in other countries are more profitable than investing in our own. So what they did is they also took their money, and that is to the tune of $29.2 billion. They took the money and they invested outside in various other countries. So $51 billion foreign investors took back from the country, and $29 billion Indian entrepreneurs, Indians, took from our country, took their own money, took from the country, created it into foreign exchange and invested in other countries. So then what is left? The actual FDI recorded for 24-25 was $0.3 billion. That is the reality. Think about it once again. How did the story start? The story started with we got $81 billion. The actual story is our net FDI, net foreign direct investment, is $0.3 billion. Others, the foreign companies took, others, our own Indian entrepreneurs thought other places was more profitable than India, so they took the money and invested in other places. So gross, net. Gross 81, net $0.3 billion. Now you get the difference? Now you get the difference? So if I was a politician and I was the finance minister, and if I want to impress the country, I can stand there and say, do you know we got $81 billion? And it is correct. Nobody can say it is wrong. But the reality, like I told you, is very different. This is the point that I wanted to make. Now let us talk about Davos. You see, this Davos thing has been, I think this is my opinion, I think it's absolutely hyped. Absolutely hyped. It is like, it's like a party, and in this party, you kind of have the whole world, their press, their media and all come there, and then, we kind of say we signed that, we signed this, and we signed the other, and we come back and say that we signed 151 million. Let's take some numbers again. Let's take some numbers. In 24-25, Maharashtra, for instance, claimed that they signed 60 billion in 24 and 166 billion in 2025. Mind you, India claims that it has got $81 billion in 24-25, but Maharashtra seems to have signed 60 billion in 24 and 186 billion in 2025. Maharashtra also claims that they've got 75% conversion rate from Davos. 75% conversion rate. This is what Maharashtra claims. Does the figures match? The math doesn't match up here. But can you necessarily say that what Maharashtra Chief Minister said is wrong? No. Maybe he's right. Maybe his calculation is right in the way he calculates it. Because most of the ministers, and this again is, take it as my opinion, most of the ministers, they would express the money as already invested the moment they sign the MoU. MoU is Memorandum of Understanding. Memorandum of Understanding has nothing to do with the agreement, has got no legal veracity. It is just a Memorandum of Understanding ke bhaiya, I will invest this kind of money in your country in the next 10 years. So, what is said and what actually happens are two different things. Number one. Number two is, like I said, a lot of our ministers, a lot of our chief ministers, they declare money has come in. The moment they sign the Memorandum of Association or Memorandum of Understanding, and they kind of, earmark a land, and they kind of say that this land is for this particular project. All that happens and they conclude that, Arey Baba, hamara ready ho gaya. Everything is done. Our project is done. In reality, nothing. Take Vedanta Foxconn, for instance. Vedanta Foxconn, $19 billion they were supposed to invest in India. What happened? First, they said that they are going to invest in Talegaon in Maharashtra. We were partying, everything done. Everybody celebrated. Everybody said, great news. And then they said, no, not Maharashtra. We are going to Gujarat. Then they said, everything done, everything there. Everybody cried in Maharashtra. Everybody rejoiced in Gujarat. Ultimately, what happened? Neither Gujarat got it nor Maharashtra got it. This is what happens when you say, done, deal, signed, delivered. Did something really happen? This is point 2. Point 3. You see, what happens is, a lot of these plans are based on 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. It is not a plan that they say that, अरे आज करेगा, कल करेगा, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. 20 years, 25 years. And that too, what I understand from a lot of these are their intentions. Fourthly, most of these people are Indians. It is Reliance and Adani and all who signs up. So just imagine, both of them from Mumbai gets into an aircraft, goes to Davos, and then they sign in Davos, and they get into the aircraft, come back, and they celebrate. They are Indians. You could have walked up to their office, or you could have taken a auto rickshaw and gone to their office and signed and come back. You went all the way to Davos, Switzerland, and to sign a document. And you are claiming that you did major projects there. I mean, this I feel is absolutely ridiculous. Acha, now I heard some gentlemen say that, how can you not? Because there are these companies that do not directly invest. They invest through foreign fundings. They have foreign fundings. If they have foreign fundings, what has that got to do with that company tying up with the government of Maharashtra or that company tying up with the government of India? They have funds. Every company who invests has funds from various sources. So what? They call all the sources and they come together and then they sign. Like, for instance, when you buy a car, you take a loan from HDFC. So what? You call the HDFC bank manager when you go to take the delivery of the car? What is wrong with you? Sourcing of funds, you can do it from anywhere. That doesn't mean that you have to go to Davos and sign the agreement. What logic does that serve? I didn't understand that. So the point again is, you go to Davos and you sign agreements which are from your own country. These are your companies. These are companies from your country. That's exactly what my point is. That's exactly what I want to say. And it's not Maharashtra alone. Maharashtra, Karnataka, I don't know what Telangana is doing there. What is the kind of investment they are going to get? Assam, what is the kind of investment they are going to get? The point is not that you are going to Davos. The point is, are these serious attempts for getting investment to your state? Look at what Uttar Pradesh has been doing. Trillion investment and 2 trillion investment and all. What really happened? You see, you can't treat investments like some political campaign. मैं भूख मिटा दूंगा, मैं गरीबी हटा दूंगा, मैं Shanghai बना दूंगा. All this, like you treat elections, you can't treat economy. Because if you treat economy that frivolously, you are going to suffer. The country is going to suffer for it. The youth of this country is going to suffer for it. You see, let's go back to reality now. So, Davos story, we'll keep it aside for a minute. Let's go to reality. Have we ever bothered to check with our own businessmen, with our own entrepreneurs, as to why are they taking money from our country, from their businesses? Our country, yes, but it is their business, it is their money. Why are they taking their money and investing it in another country? Have you ever bothered to check with them? You see, Donald Trump is doing it in United States. He is calling a Tim Cook and saying, India mein kyun paisa dal raha hai? Have we bothered to do it with our businessmen? Have we bothered? And mind you, it is not the Tim Cooks and the Adanis and the Ambanis alone that are investing outside. There are MSMEs, small businessmen, medium-sized businessmen who are investing abroad. Have we bothered to interview them and say, Bhaiya, kyun kar rahe ho? Of course, our government only knows to threaten. So the next thing they will do is they will put some cases, they will put some compliance, they will put some impediments in front of them. Is that how you are going to control your country? Is that how you are going to control the people? By either playing the nationalist card or putting compliance. Is that how you control economy? Is that how you grow economy? Have you bothered to ask $28.1 billion that has gone out in 2025? Do you have a justification of where that 28.5? You may have that, but do you know why it has gone? Have you bothered to ask those people, कि भाई India में क्यों नहीं डाला यार? What do you want? What more can we do to you so that you can put that money in India? Or FDIs would have gone up. Secondly, have we bothered to go and check with those companies that have taken money and gone away? Those foreign companies? Have we gone to them and said, why are you taking money? What more can we do for you? What more can we do for you so that you are still in India, so that my people get employment, more and more of my people get employment, my youth gets job, my talents get an opportunity in India? Have you bothered to go and ask them? So, what exactly are we doing? Going to Davos? Is that our solution to all this problem? So your FDIs are gone down, run to Davos, enjoy yourself, have a party time, come back and say 70 billion, 100 billion, 200 billion signed and then party and then nothing happens. That's my question. That's the question I want to ask. And that's my problem. And it is important you know this. It is very important you know this. So think about what I just said. Think about what I put in front of you. And next time when you see these kind of news items, when you see these kind of pictures and all that, please think for yourself. Are these politicians doing it for themselves? And with your tax money? And enjoying themselves? And also getting mileage while enjoying themselves? And is all of this happening because we are ignorant? Or we choose to be ignorant? Or we choose not to bother about all these small details and let them do what they want? Is this how it is? Think about this and let me know in the comment box below. And before I end, you see, a lot of people write to me. Some I answer, some I can't. But I would love to answer your questions. So if you have any specific questions, see, I am not equipped enough to give you global answers. But if you have any specific questions on topics that I have put forward to you, on opinion that I have presented to you, if you have any specific questions, please do write to me. What I will do is I will earmark one day in a week for that, and I will go through your questions and I will answer each of your questions. Questions which logically can be answered and deserves an answer. That is the way I'll put it. Otherwise, some questions, there is, at least I am not equipped enough to answer those. But the questions I can answer, I will sit and answer each of those questions. So please do write your comments. Please do write your questions if you have any. Please do write your point of view if you have any. And I'll see you tomorrow at 10. Namaskar.